Okay, good evening, everybody. Haswani, Noni, you drive safely, ga? Okay, so don't worry, I'm recording this so I can later give it to you. What is the thing? All right. Now, did any one of you go and see what is the, what do you call, exam thing that they're given?
Exam
Is it
paper, sir.
Huh?
Exam paper, is it?
No, exam tips. You saw the thing? No.
They don't give any tips, I think.
Okay, probably maybe it's not in your view lah. For me, I'm able to swan. Okay. All right. The good thing about this is it's the same. I think it's the same paper as last semester also. Okay. So this is for marketing management lah. Okay. So these are the exam focus areas, and this is what is in your inside the PLS. What they've given is the exam focus area, final exam. This is September 2020, but it's the same for even this what do you call January also is the same lah. The same thing. Okay. Now instructions. You need to answer all the questions. You know, there are 4 questions that are given. Okay. Let me just double check with the, just in case, like, you know, exam focus. Okay, this is the one. Okay. Okay, so this is what I downloaded from the PLS. Okay, so exam focus area for final exam for January 2021. This is January 2021. Okay, for this semester, right? You need to answer all the questions given. So there will be 4 questions. 4 questions for revision. For please use the reference book Kotler and Keller in my PLS. Okay, have you all downloaded this book Kotler and Keller?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's also in my what do you call Google Drive. I've also given it in the Google Drive, so you can actually download it and read through it. Okay, the book is very huge. So what I've done is I've given you where the questions are, the answers to the questions are. I've given this to you in this PowerPoint. Okay, now there are 4 questions. First is about product life cycle. Right, product life cycle. So today I will cover a little bit about product life cycle. So identify the different stages and different strategies from the stage. Okay, different stages. What are the marketing strategies? Okay. Now it's important that this question ada berapa part? You look at the A. How many parts are there? You need to what? Identify. And then you need to what? Define. Can you all hear me?
Can, sir, can hear.
Can, you need to identify the stages and then you have to define the stages, okay? Then you will develop the marketing strategies from each stage. Each stage, what are the marketing strategies from each stage? Okay, so this is the question. Right. So now
This must be own idea or must take from the book?
Okay, now you read the questions, the answers in the book, and then you give your own example. What do you call this thing? Okay, so this is what I would recommend you to do. Okay, this is what I would recommend you to do. Okay, so here I've given some information and given page numbers on the textbook, okay, which is also in your Google Drive. Please read through. Use your own words to explain. Don't just bulat copy from the textbook. Okay? Use your own words to explain. Number 1. Number 2. Give examples to emphasize your point. So everything that you're explaining, give them an example. If you talk about product life cycle, you can say, for example, you know, the iPhone when it first came up, you know, what are the stage, what stage, what stage. So give an example when you are explaining the stages and when you're defining the stage. Okay. Now, what is the product life cycle? When you look at the product life cycle, a product is like us also, is it? We have a life cycle. We are born, and then we grow, and then we mature, dari orang tua, and then we go to the grave, we mati, kan? Same like us, most products have a life cycle, okay? Have a life cycle. Now, this is the product life cycle. Product life cycle starts, you know, at the introduction stage here. Okay, let me show you with the pen. So there is the introduction stage. At the introduction stage, a product is introduced into the market. Okay, then the product slowly grows. Okay, this is the product. This is this orange color is the sales, yeah, or profit. Sorry, and this is the sales. So as the product is introduced into the market, you see it's very slow. Okay, then when it comes to the growth stage, it starts growing very fast. See, it's very steep. It's growing very fast here. Then at the stage here, at this maturity stage, it comes to a level where it is plateaued. How do you know it's matured? How do you know a product is already matured? How do you know when a product is already matured stage, at the mature stage? Selvi?
With the good sales,
You know what?
good sales,
Group sales.
good.
Good sales. Okay, if good sales means, will it be, what do you call, hold on. Good sales means is where? If the sales is very good,
In the center.
if the sales is growing, mean it is where? At which part the sales is growing very fast? At which stage the sales is growing very fast? But that means from last month to this month, growing very fast. Which stage?
Profit?
No. You see, we have 4 stages: introduction, growth, maturity, and
Oh,
decline.
I think maturity.
At maturity. How about others? Noni, which one you think is the sales is very good, very improving very fast? At which stage?
I think at the growth stage.
Okay, as a growth stage. Why you say at the growth stage?
Because the graph, you can see the sales, it keep increasing until the maximum. The maximum already at the maturity level,
Okay,
but the
so,
growth is keep increasing.
okay, if you look at here to here, a particular timeline, or say, let's say a time like this line, maybe it's maybe 1 month. The same thing, you see the growth. What is the growth here? And then let's say you take the same thing over here, same thing over here. You see how it's growing here. So here the distance is here is faster, higher. You see the slope is high here, Lebe, slope is higher, slope is smaller. And at this stage, you see the slope, like this is January and February. Let's say from January to February, you see the sales. What happened to sales? Is going down. Okay. So when the sales is going down, that means it's already at a maturity stage. At a maturity stage, the sales from last month to this month, sales is still high. You see the sales, this is sales, sales is like is still high. Sales is still high, but it is not growing from month to month. So this is what. So what happened is after some time it goes down and it comes to a decline stage. Okay. Now I'm going to show you a little video on the product life cycle. So I want you to watch this video because this video is very good. It gives you a clearer picture of what a product life cycle is. Okay. Now, when you answer this question, identify the stages. What are the stages? First, you got to talk about first part of the question. Identify there are 4 what you call stages: introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. Okay. And then to the product. At the growth stage, what happened to the product? Profit stage, what happened? Maturity stage, what happened? Decline stage, what happened? You have to define that, okay? And you give example from there. Now watch this video.
Product life cycle only looks at one product.
All products have a life cycle. And by that, I mean that they are introduced onto the market, but at some point may disappear from the market. How long they are around is their life. And firms want their products to have long and profitable lives. Here's a diagram of a product life cycle. As we can see, sales and revenue run up the side, and time runs along the bottom. There are 4 sections because all products are introduced, then grow, then mature, and finally decline. Some products are introduced and then grow very quickly. They have a brief maturity and then decline rapidly. For example, fashion and toys. Other products have very long periods of maturity. For example, Coca-Cola and Kellogg's cornflakes, which have been around for years, but are still in maturity. The length of a product's life cycle depends on the type of product, levels of competition, marketing support for the product, and customer tastes. It's important to recognise that during development, the product will be costing the firm a lot of money in terms of design, production, and advance promotion. But the product won't be bringing in any money because it's not yet for sale. This can cause cash flow problems because the business finds that more money is going out than is coming in. Established firms will use finance from other products to support a new one, but new firms might not have this ability. You need to consider what each stage may mean to the business. We've looked at development, so introduction is next. At introduction, the product is new to the market, so sales may start off slowly, and heavy promotion may be needed to create awareness, to encourage sales, and to develop an image. But bear in mind that promotion can be expensive, and this is a time when a lot of money has been spent on the product, and cash flow may be a problem. This is a problem that many firms face because they won't have unlimited finance to support the product. But if they don't promote it well enough, they won't gain enough revenue to cover their costs. During introduction, there's also likely to be an underutilisation of capacity, as there isn't the demand to be producing to full capacity. After the introduction stage, the product will move into growth as more people become aware of the product, as advertising will still be heavy. Sales will be rising and profit may be made if enough revenue is made to cover the costs. As sales increase, the firm will produce more items and will be making better use of its capacity. This means the firm will be operating more efficiently, which could bring unit cost down, as costs are spread over more units. Firms can't be complacent though, because if the market is proving lucrative, new competitors may try and enter the market and pose a threat to the company's sales. Gradually, sales will stabilise and remain constant. This is the maturity stage. But this doesn't mean the firm can relax its marketing activity. Promotion will still be needed to remind people of why the product is so good. Just look at how much promotion is still done for brands such as Nike, Audi, and Coca-Cola. Cash flow will be positive and profits will be made. Often money from mature products is used to support products in development or newly introduced products. The final stage is decline, where sales start to fall. At this point, the firm can either withdraw the product, wait until other competitors have withdrawn their products and take their sales, or use extension strategies to revitalise the product and increase sales. Why don't you have a go at coming up with some extension strategies for Kellogg's cornflakes?
Okay. So basically it covers what are the different stages of a product life cycle. Okay, introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. At the introduction, the product is introduced into the market. Okay, for example, iPhone, when it first came into the market, it was introduced. Okay, the sales are slow. Okay, because people are just getting to know about the product. Then at the growth stage, what happens? You start having more sales. People get more aware of it. Okay, and then start growing. And then at the maturity stage, the sales stop growing. So it's still there. Like, for example, he gave an example of some products are still at the maturity stage. For example, what? Coca-Cola. We're still drinking Coca-Cola. It's been there for, I think, almost 100 years today. We're still drinking Coca-Cola. It's still at the maturation stage. It has not declined yet. Some products have declined. So once it declined, they come up with new product. Good example, you can talk about car. For example, you can talk about Honda. Now, Honda City. Okay, so new Honda City has been introduced because it's come to the maturity stage and the product has been declined. Now, if you know the 4 different stages of product life cycle, we can develop strategies, marketing strategies based on this 4 stages of a product. Okay, now we're going to look at the marketing strategy. Okay, now what can be our marketing strategy at introduction stage? Let's say, for example, you're introducing a new product in the market. What is our marketing strategy? What will our marketing strategy be? When you're introducing something new in the market, what should be our marketing strategy? Should be
The product, place, price, people, promotion.
a new product in the market. When it's introduced, you must go more promotion, right? Isn't it? For example, Izati, let's say your company is having a new solution, a new product solution, a new hosting kind of a solution they have with it. So when you do that, first of all, they need to do a lot of advertisements. Am I right? Let people know about it. Okay. Then it becomes popular. Then you can slow down on your advertisement. Okay. So this is how the thing is. Now, when the next question, let's look at the next question. Develop marketing strategies from the different stages. Okay. So we need to come up with different marketing strategies. Okay.
The product.
Let's say, for example, when you talk about marketing strategy, you talk about the 4 P's: product, price. What's the next one? Product, price,
Place.
What are the 4 P's?
Product, price, place,
People.
Then
process.
no. Goodness, just telling you marketing. Now the basic 4 P's is product, price, promotion, and place and promotion. Product, price, place, and promotion. Product means, what is the product you're going to offer? What are the benefits? What are the product? Second is the price. What's the price? Then what is the place? Place means where is it going to be available? Where is the customer going to buy the product? Where are you going to keep the product? Where are you going to manufacture it? That's called a place strategy. Okay. The final one is the promotion strategy. When you talk about promotion, how you want to market this, advertise this particular product. Advertisement is one way you can do promotion. You can also do public relation. You can also do you can even do sales people going and selling, or you can do direct marketing, selling emails and telemarketing. So there are 4 or 5 different ways. We'll cover that later on how you can promote the product. Okay, 4 P's. Then if it's a service, then you got another 3 more P's. People, process, and one more thing. What is that? People, process, and when you're offering a service to customers, there's another 3 more P's. People make a difference. Process, and also physical evidence. For example, if I'm going to go and stay in a hotel, now, is it a product or is it a service?
It's a
What's
service.
the difference between a good and a service? A product can be a good or service, right? What is a good? What is a service? Good itu apa? Goods. A product can be a good or a service. Good means is what? And what is a service? You already forgotten everything already. Okay, a good is something that you can touch and feel. For example, a handphone maybe like something that I can hold and touch. So this is a good, something I'm selling something. It's a good. Or it can be a service. Service is what? Perkhidmatan. Give me an example of a service. Example of a service.
Travel to.
Okay, travel. Okay. Then what? You go for a haircut, that's a service. Am I right? Okay, you go to the salon, that's a service, right? Isn't it? Okay. Now, but then hotel, isn't it? Hotel is, yes, Elvi?
Doctor's visit.
Okay. So that is also a service. So product is something you can touch. Service you cannot touch. So it's not tangible, right? Now, when you come up with a marketing plan for a product, you have to have another 3 more P, because why? People play a very important role. Okay, like for example, all of you go for hair salon, right? Isn't it? Do you go for hair salons? Noni?
Yes,
Noni, you
sir.
cut your own hair. You go for hair salon, right? Isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you change your hair salon every month, or you go to the same salon for very long time, going back to the same salon?
Same saloon.
Same salon. Yeah, you'll also go look for the same what
Yes.
do you call hairdresser, right? Isn't it? Because
Yes.
the people makes a very important role. When you are offering a service to somebody, people play a very important role. Okay. Second is process. I mean the process of how you order, how you do the thing. For example, let's say for example, you're in banking line. You all give a service to people. Customers come, they bank in the money or they get what do you call this thing. All this is called a service. For example, I come, let's say Hayati, I come to your branch and I want to open up an FD. If I got to wait for a long time and then the process, so the process plays a very important role. If it's very fast, then okay, people are happy. A service, right? The third is physical evidence, right? Physical evidence is how nice the place is, the environment, the ambient. You go sit down in Starbucks. Why people like to sit down in Starbucks? Because of the physical environment. So that's a service. So service has got bigger element like here. Remember, for goods and services, it's got 4P plus another 3 more P's. Okay, so now let's look at what are the strategies that we need to use at different stage. Now this graph will it shows you the product life cycle. Once it's introduced, come up to maturity and come down to decline stage. So when a new product is introduced in the market, the product strategy is, the beginning is what? Offer a basic product. Basic means just a simple product. Okay. For example, when X70 come into the market first they introduce a simple car only. No need extra whatever. So just come up with maybe 5 1.6 version. Is it? Offer basic product. Okay. At the growth stage, then you can have extension, service, and warranty at the growth stage. At maturity, you diversify brand and model. That means you kurangkan the model. And then decline, you phase out the weak item. You only sell what is more successful. Okay, so this is a strategy that companies have at different stages. Introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. Introduction, you offer a basic product. So when you are explaining this, you explain with an example. You can give a car example. When Proton first came up, okay, it came up with the basic 1.3 version. And as it became popular at the growth stage, they started introducing 1.5 and then the S version, have that. At the maturity stage, where there were more competition, what happened? It diversified the brand and models, they diversify into different kind of models, right? That at the decline stage, stop whatever model which is not selling. Okay, they stop production and focus on the models that is producing. So you give an example in that way, product stage. Okay. Next is what? After product is what? Price. Okay. At the introduction stage, use cost plus. Remember, we were studied about pricing strategies, right? Isn't it? There are different strategy of pricing. One is cost plus. Cost plus means you look at the cost and then you add on. For example, if I introduce a product into the market, I don't know berapa I nak jual ini, is it? I don't know what's the price. So what I do, I look at the cost. If for me to do this product, it cost me 10 ringgit. Okay, if let's say cost is 10 ringgit, I want to make maybe 5 ringgit profit. So how much am I sell it for? How much am I sell it for? 10 ringgit, I want to make 5 ringgit. So how much must I sell? What is my selling price? Selvi? Are you listening or not? Product cost is 10 ringgit. I want to make 5 ringgit from the sale of the product. So I'm selling for how much?
15.
15, yes, very simple, right? That's what cost plus. That means what's the cost? You tamba plus. Plus means it could be percentage or it could be even what you call figure, how much you want to do. So that's the first strategy. At the pricing at the introduction, you use a cost plus. At the growth, it means now the product is become more popular, people are seeing it, becoming more and more, sales is increasing from day to day. Then what do? You use a price to penetrate the market. Penetrate means You want to penetrate the market, you got to lower the price. Okay, so you lower the price. Then at maturity stage, it is here. At this stage, it is not growing, at this stage, it's not growing. So you must price to match or beat the competitor. If let's say another company is selling the same product, similar kind of product, and what you need to do, you need to maintain the market share. You ikut harga their price. So that's called at maturity stage. And decline, what do? You give discount. When you know the price, when the declining stage, when the sales is not going to be doing well, you give discount. Okay, maybe buy one, free one you can get. Okay, maybe you buy this, you get additional something else. Remember, sometimes some cars, what they do is when they want to sell the car, they give you 5-year warranty, free service. Like the day one of my friends, he bought a car, I asked him, where you buy this Polo, the Volkswagen Polo, why you buy the Polo? They say the maintenance is very thingy, He said, well, I just bought, they say 5 years, I don't need to pay anything for any service. So, okay, I'm driving the car, I don't have to pay a single money for it. Now, that is where it is at the decline stage. Okay, so if companies want to sell product at that time, they cut the price or they give offers like that. So that's a strategy. Okay, next is distribution. Distribution is place strategy. Okay, so what do you do at the beginning stage? What happens is you build selective. Not everybody, can sell your product. Okay, not available everywhere. Okay, because now you want to make it available everywhere. Your logistics is high. Everything is going to be expensive. So you cannot, because now you're just not making much profit. So you be very selective. Then later on, when it's growing, you have more intensive distribution. Here you build more intensive and then you go selective back again because now it's unprofitable, certain area not profitable. So you cut down this distributor, don't sell everywhere, you bring down the price. So that's the strategy that companies have applied, right? Next is advertising, or this is promotion. At promotion, introduction, a lot of money to build a product awareness among early adopters and people. You at the growth stage, build awareness and interest in the mass market. So now not only selective people has it. Now here you talk about maturity, you stress the brand differences. Now why are you talking about brand difference? When you advertise, you talk about my brand is the best. It's got this feature, that feature. Why is it you talk about like that? What's the reason? At maturity stage, why you think you talk about the differences and the benefit more? Anybody? You're marketing the product, you're doing advertisement, but you're stressing more on the differences between this product and that product. Okay, the reason is here banyak competitor. A lot of competitors will be coming in here, So in order for you to fight a cut against challenge a competitor, you need to talk about what's special about your product. Why you want to buy this one rather than some other product. Okay, so that's the scope or the focus of the advertisement is on stressing the brand. And then here you reduce you reduce the advertising. Okay, finally is sales promotion. Sales promotion, here you use heavy promotion to entice trial. So people want to try out the product. Reduce to take advantage of heavy consumer demand. So now you have less sales promotion. Increase to encourage brand switching. Reduce to minimal level. Okay, so this is basically the different strategies that companies adopt in order for their products. Product, price, distribution, and advertising or sales promotion is under promotion line. Right? These are the 4 P's that we look at. Is that clear? Any questions you want to ask me before we move on to the next question?
Okay.
You're clear, right? Okay. All right. So don't worry. Probably you're tired or what, of the hard day's work, right? So just what you do is very simple. When if this question comes up, what you do, you just give example, right? Talk about the 4 P's. What strategy? Very simple: introduction, growth, maturity, decline. There are only 4 stages in a product. Every product goes through 4 different stages: introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. Okay. At the introduction phase, the product is introduced into the market. Okay. So it gains acceptance. People look at the product. Again, so not many people are using the product. At the growth stage, what happened? Now more people are using the product. Now it's targeted towards the mass market. At the maturity stage, the product, the sales is growing, but it's not increasing. It's the same at its plateau. You know, from last month, this month, plateau. At decline stage, the price is, sales is going down. Okay. At the decline stage, you have to come up with a new product. Okay, that's where companies, you know, normally they'll come up with a new product. When a car company is coming up with facelift, let's say Honda City is coming up with facelift model. What stage is it in? Honda City is doing a facelift. What stage is it in?
Decline.
Okay. Is there a decline stage? Anybody else? It is, yeah, you're right, it's declining, but not yet declined yet, you know. It is still at the maturity stage. That means sales from last month and now, this month, is not so good, you know, it's not increasing. So what they want to do, they want to, what they call jumpstart the sales. So they come up with a new model, people buy more. They try to hold more at the maturity. So what companies do, they try to, instead of going down, they tarik their scale longer, big, you know, a longer, big line. But ultimately what happened? It's got to decline, come down a big line. So when it decline at this stage, what is going to come up next? What will companies do? Let's say car model is already here. Next, what's the next step they'll come up with? What did Honda City do recently? When at maturity stage, they have a facelift model. After some time, it's going to decline some more, you know. So what do companies do? They come up with what? A new model.
New model.
A new model coming out. So if you know that the car has got facelift, don't buy the car, because why? Another 3-4 months, a model baru akan keluar. Okay. So when facelift model come, they will say, wow, new light, new thing, new this thing, new bumper, new this thing. They tell you, or engine maybe new, you know, or they say this one new, you know, and then maybe they give you discount. You go and buy, you know, because they want the sales to tarik lagi. But you know that new model is going to come up, you know. After a few months, you're driving, then you say, oh, yeah, new model come already. Yeah. Why I never wait, you know, you think, because it's at maturity stage. At marketing people, we need to understand this. It helps you to understand why a certain product is coming up in this way, what are companies doing, what are marketers doing, right? So remember that when maturity stage, prices will drop because a new product is going to come into the market. All right. So these are the different strategies. Okay. Now, next question. Second focus area, steps in developing an effective communication. Now, what do you mean by communication? When I talk about communications, what does it mean? When marketing, when you talk about communication, what does it mean? Anybody? What is marketing communications?
The interaction between customer and
okay, very good. That means company and communicating. Now, which way do they communicate? How do companies communicate with you? Okay, let's say for example, Proton, they have a new model. How do they communicate with you? How do you know about it? The new car is coming out, you know, new model is coming out, launching a new model. How do you know?
With the promotion, the advertising.
Yes, advertisements, right, isn't it? Advertisements and promotion. So communication or marketing communication is actually advertisements, right? Or promotions. Okay, so we're going to look at these things, right? Okay. Now, these are the what you call areas in how, okay, companies do marketing communication. Okay, these are the steps that they follow. First of all, in order for you to advertise, you know, marketing communication is basically marketing communication is, or simply sometimes you call communication, or sometimes you call Marcom. Marcom. The use of different marketing methods, or channels, and tools in combination. So we call this integrated marketing communication, because marketing communication today is not one way, you know, or one method they're using. Now, those days, when very long time ago, or 50, 60 years ago, what is the only way people advertise is through newspapers, right? Isn't it? Companies advertise through newspapers or companies advertise through TV. That's the only way they advertise. Okay? But in today's world, there are so many different methods of advertisement. Okay? We advertise through social media. Okay, so we have print, social media, out of home. Out of home advertisement means is all the billboard, And today you have all these what do you call interactive billboards. We keep changing all the time, right? As you're driving, you see all that. So this is basically what you call marketing communication. So in marketing communication, now the challenge that companies have is they need to integrate all these things together, because what they advertise in social media, on your Facebook or your Instagram, must relate with what you do in the newspaper. For example, if RHB is coming up with a new product, let's say, right? Noni, let's say, any new product that you all made recently, you launch? Did you launch any new product?
Almost 1 year ago, we launched the WWF card. That one is recycle card.
Okay, good. Let's say, for example, WWF card you all advertise. That means you're co-brand with WWF and RHB. Is it? Am I right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. All right, good. So maybe every dollar you spend, maybe a few cents go to WWF lah. Is that probably the target that's a promotion that you're doing? Is it? So correct. Good. So that is something that you came up with, a new product. Now, when you have a new product, you need to communicate that. So you come up with marketing communications mix. Is it? So you don't only put advertisement in the newspaper. What are the different ways you use? You come up with the social media advertisement. WWF and RHB is co-branding together. With this. Then there's a TV ad also probably will come out. YouTube ads will come out. When you're watching YouTube, tiba-tiba ada keluar RHB, thing and come out, right? Isn't it? So there are so many different ways in which today we're advertising. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to integrate it together. Integrate means the message is the same. Apa yang dapat dalam surat khabar is the same as in the what you call social media. And what you say, what you have salesperson, when you walk into your branch, the salesperson also is marketing that particular product. Why don't you sign up for that? They're also talking the same thing. So it is called integrated. Okay, so the marketing marketing department has a huge responsibility when taking over this marketing project. Okay, now the question here is, what are the steps in developing effective communication? I mean, in order for advertisement to come out, okay, the WWF, RHB to come out, what is the steps yang perlu dibuat? Okay, so they're asking you the question, right? Now the answer for this is it's in your textbook. Okay, it's in page 482 of your textbook. Right, 482 of your textbook. So go through your textbook and you have it there. It's also in your Google Drive. Okay, but what I will do now is I will just briefly run through the whole thing. Okay, just so you have an idea of it. All right. Now, a marketing communication mix. When I talk about communication mix, is not only advertising. Advertising is apa yang kita bayar. That means you pay to social media, you pay to out of home, billboard, you pay for advertisement dalam surat khabar, you pay for the TV ad. Yang you take out the money is called advertising. We also have personal selling. For example, you have some people selling cards, right? RHB cards in the mall. You're walking past by. Yesterday I was walking past by. Standard Chartered people approached me and said, "Sir, we have this new card and we are having this promotion," and they were telling me, right? That's called personal selling. That's also one way you market. Then you also got direct marketing. Okay, for example, card companies will call you, right? Isn't it? Okay, recently CIMB, I'm a CIMB card holder. They called me and said, "Sir, we got something new for you. Because you're a member, we have this special insurance scheme for you. That's called direct marketing. Direct marketing means direct to you. It means you can. They are not macam advertise surat khabar, bukan tujuan kepada you. Anybody can do. But here it's direct to you. So direct marketing involves telemarketing. It involves email kepada you, direct kepada you, email. WhatsApp, WhatsApp. You get some WhatsApp you get, right? That's also direct marketing. So these are all the different direct marketing. Public relations means, for example, you sponsor a show, you sponsor a sports event, you sponsor that. That's called public relations, right? where your logo is there, and you're not talking about your product, but the thing is basically they go for the show, but then it's sponsored by RHP, okay, so that's public relation. So the public are able to relate to your particular product, okay. And then promotion means is short term, okay. Hari Raya sale, 50% off Hari Raya, that's called promotion, right? So marketing communication consists of all these areas, not just advertisements. Okay, now we're going to look at each one of these areas, right? Now, in order for us to advertise, first thing we need to ask is what? Who is the target audience? We need to find out who are we advertising. Okay, it's very important. You need to find out where and who is this person that you're advertising. For example, if I want to advertise RHP credit card, who is my target customer, Nuni?
Pardon, sir?
Huh?
Pardon?
Who is your target customer? Let's say if I want to advertise to sell your credit card, to market your credit card, right? WWF RHP credit card. Who is my target customer? Who is my target customer?
The age by 18 above already can get the card as long as the customer is our customer RHB Bank.
Your RHB bank customer, it can be somebody new customers also can, right? Isn't it? As long as they are 18 and above, and maybe they are okay, no secrets, no all these things. So we are targeting this category of people. That's what we want to. First of all, who you want to target. So when you know who you want to target, then the next step is determine the objective. Why you want to? What is the purpose of your advertisement? Okay. Now, whether is it a category need? I mean, category need means you want to build up the particular category. Category means you have different categories. For example, if you talk about Procter and Gamble or Nestle, dia ada banyak category. They have food. They have apa lagi ada Nestle? Drinks they have, is it? Then they have what they call what is it? Food, drinks. What else does Nestle have? Maybe noodles, okay. Maybe they have noodles is one category, Then they have like ready drinks, fast food, Then maybe they have like, for example, canned drinks, that's a category. So different categories is there. Right? So there's a need for that particular category. So they advertise particular category, right? That's one. Second is brand awareness. Brand awareness means that they want to create the brand. For example, Coca-Cola advertises. Why? Because they want to create the brand awareness. They want to know about the brand. So keep on advertising. So they're not telling you to buy the brand, but they want to make sure the brand, or ingat the brand attitude. Okay, they want to show you the brand attitude, right? Brand attitude. We're talking about when we talk about brand. Remember, I think we spoke about brand equity, a value of the particular brand. They want to show about the brand attitude. Then next is the brand purchase intention. You want you to buy the particular product. So there are different ways, different reasons why you want to advertise. Okay. If you look back at my notes earlier or slide, I've given some examples of advertisement, right? So first you identify who do you want to target. Second, you determine why are you doing advertisement for it. Do you want people to buy the product ataupun just want to create awareness saja? Find out that, right? Next is design the communication. Design the communication means design the advertisement. What should be in the ad, is it? What do you want to say? That's a strategy of the message. How you want to say it, okay? Maybe you want to make a fun joke out of it. Some people when they do advertisement, it's very funny, okay? Or people can remember. Oh, tahu tak? Yang this company come up with a very funny ad, is it? All right. So how you want to say that, right? So we all remember Petronas, kan? Petronas come up with very nice ad during Hari Raya, right? Because I think now Hari Raya probably they're already going to come up with a new ad, is it? So we always look forward to something like that because the way they say is very creative, right? And then who should say this? Who means source. Daripada mana it coming? Is it from the newspaper? Is it coming from the TV? Is it? Or YouTube? Or is it coming from Facebook? Okay. So this you design the communication, right? Communication, remember, is advertisement. Then you select the channels. Channel means what? Saluran, daripada mana. So there are two saluran. One is personal, non-personal. Personal is face-to-face, salesman. Okay. Direct mail, telemarketing, emails, all these. Remember, I told you direct, direct to you. Second, non-personal. That means mass communication like print, TV, outdoor, billboard. The billboard anybody can see. They're not targeting to you, but to everybody. So there are two different ways that you can do. So choose which one you want to. So you select, okay, this ad we want to target to whom, which category of people. Sometimes you might think, okay, this particular product we don't want to sell to everybody. Maybe, for example, you have a special insurance plan, RHP got a special insurance plan for that. And who are they targeting? Only the account holders saja, bukan orang lain. Those who are not account holder is not your target customer. So if let's say, for example, if you're not your customer holder, you're not a target holder, do you want to advertise in the newspapers or not? Is it worth putting a big billboard for it, Noni?
No.
No point. Because what you're wasting, is it? So if let's say only your customers are you're targeting, might as well I get my telemarketing people to call them. Isn't that better? Right? Or when I send out emails to my customers regarding the statement, I letak dekat sana pun, or special promotion. So you design, and you select which communication channel that you want to target. So you can give examples like this, when you're giving an answer. Then you establish a budget. Okay, now any advertisement you need to have a budget. How much you want to spend. Now, what is the best way or target of spending advertisement? How much should you spend for the advertisement? Okay, so there are few methods. Okay, there are four methods. One is affordable method. Affordable means how much you think I can afford. For example, I'm starting a small business, right? And I don't have a lot of money. I want to do social media advertisement. So how much I can afford? Maybe I can spend only about 1 week, 50 ringgit I can spend. Okay, so I spend 50 ringgit every week and I put in my social media. So that's called an affordable method. Second is percentage of sales method. Okay, now this is what is used by many big companies. What they do is they will always allocate normally 1 to 10% or 2 to 10% of the sales for what do you call it? They call it for advertisements like A&P. They call it advertisement and promotion like A&P. Okay, so 10% will be for A&P. Of course, this figure is higher when the product is at the introduction stage. But as maturity, it can turun now, right? Next is competitive parity. Competitive parity means what is a competitor spending? If he is spending 1 million, I also better spend 1 million. Then only I can get the same coverage as the competitor. If he is spending 1 million, banyak orang tahu tentang produk dia. I got only spending 100,000. I'm sure I'm not going to get the market share, right? And then next is objective and task method. Objective means you just target. Okay, this is the purpose. This is objective. What I want to do, and then you set aside a certain amount and target that. So that's called establishing the budget. Next is deciding on the media mix. When you talk about mix, means is campuran. What are the different mix? Remember, I told you can use advertising, sales promotion, public relation, publicity, events, direct marketing. If I want to, let's say, advertise your RHP card, then I can do maybe a public relations I can do. Okay, so I can sponsor events. RHP, World Wildlife is sponsoring what do you call a cat show, maybe like maybe World Wildlife, something deal with wildlife, like or something like that, or maybe sponsoring zoo, something, because you're related to wildlife, so you want to do that. So you're sponsoring events, like direct marketing. Interactive marketing is like online, all that is that. Word of mouth marketing is like, now word of mouth is very popular, especially in social media, and things go viral. Remember, that's called word of mouth, right? And then salespeople. So different ways you can mix. Now you don't have to have all these. That's why it's called a mix. Mix maknanya you boleh buat campuran. I can do maybe advertisement, I will do direct marketing, and I will do sales force and word of mouth marketing. Okay, so these are the things I do. Yang lain I tak nak buat. So you can mix and choose what you want, right? Then next comes the what they call measuring the results. Okay, now this is important because many companies what they do is they advertise how much is they can make. Okay, companies spend 10%. We are launching this new product in the market, so they spend 10% of the projected sale. Maybe they're going to sell our sales is going to be 1 million. So how much can we spend? 10%, 100% for advertisement. So kita blast out advertisement sini, sana, everywhere, and then we see whether we result or not. Okay, so it's very important that marketing today can be measured. If you cannot measure it, it's of no use. They need to be measured. Okay, so we need to measure what is the result. And today with tools like social media, advertisement, we are able to measure what is the success rate, from whatever advertisement that we've done. Okay, so the measuring it is important. And then final part is coordinating the whole entire thing. They're managing the whole process. Okay, remember I told you today, integrated marketing communication is advertising, doing all these in different channels, right? Whether it's in Facebook or whether you're putting in with what do you call with Twitter, or whether you're doing it in YouTube, so you're managing the entire thing. So first of all, the first challenge is coordinating the whole media. I mean, everything is all coordinated. Same message is delivered in different places. Okay, and then implementing it, stage of implementing. So sometimes what happens is they'll step by step. It comes out on newspaper first, then it comes in social media. Sometimes it's together. How do you implement it? Implementation strategy also plays a very important role. Okay. Now, integrated marketing communication, the advantages is it produce consistency throughout. Everywhere is the same, right? In different channels, you get the same message. Helps you build the brand equity. Remember, we talk about brand equity. Brand equity is remember, whenever you talk about equity is a value. Okay, it's a value. For example, I have equity in this business. Means what? I got share in the business. I have some value asset yang masuk dalam. Okay? So brand equity means the value of a brand. If I'm carrying, let's say, for example, I'm wearing a Rolex watch. Let's say like my watch is Rolex. Okay. So people, why I wear the Rolex watch? Is it because the time is very good to keep time? Why do people wear this kind of watches and go? What is the reason? Why do people carry a LV bag? Do you have a LV bag with you?
Fake punya ada lah.
Fake, yeah. Okay, I'm sure some of you got iPhone, right? Isn't it? Okay, iPhone. Now, why do you carry this kind of brand with you? Why? Because these brands have got a certain value. Okay, and when you carry the brand with you, the value give you the value is passed on to you. So that's called the equity that you have. Okay? If somebody carry a LV bag, oh, wow, they look at you and say, oh, our person must be ada duit lah, right? So like Selvi, you got an iPhone lah. People look at iPhone and say, wow, Selvi mesti orang kaya lah, right? Isn't it? So the respect, ada respect sikit kan, right? Isn't it? Okay, you sendiri yang tahu lah situation, right? Isn't it? But people look at it, it gives you a certain value, whether you like it or not. It gives you a certain value. So that's called the brand equity, and that's why brands they like to push that, advertise, so it gives you a certain value. Now it creates a greater sales impact. Okay, when you have a one time every channel check up same thing, gives you a good impact, and it unifies the brand image and the message. So everything is telling the same story. It gives you a unified message, right? And when you walk into the shop, the salesman tells you the same thing, and advertisement also same. So that gives you a total what do you call it thing. Okay, forces like yesterday I went to go and buy something, So I walk into the shop and asked them, hey, Lazada is selling at this price. Can you give me a same price? Yes, sir. No problem. We can give you at the same price. Okay? So the advertisement that they put there and here is the same. So there is a unity. They cannot tell you, oh, that one is online, sir. That one different price, here different price. I will say, sorry, I don't want to go. Right, isn't it? So integrated marketing communication must have the same thing. The shop or the salesperson and whatever you advertise Lazada should be the same. The people will say, okay, fine, that's good. So it gives you the thing. So unifying the brand image. Force management, think about every way the customer comes in contact with the company. Now, people not only walk into the shop, not only call, there are different ways people come in contact with the brand or the company, right? So management have to think in not only in this way, so many different ways. Okay, so this is the integrated marketing communication. In summarizing, okay, integrated marketing communication. Marketing communication means advertising or how a company communicates the brand or the brand value to the customer. That's called marketing communication, right? Now, today we have something called integrated marketing communication. Integrated means the same message is in different type of media or different channels, right? Now, we looked at, question talks about what is a different process. First of all, you got to identify the target. You must know who are you advertising to. If you're advertising to children, then your message must be different. In your channel must be different. Kan? You cannot advertise dalam what do you call TV3. Children you must advertise dalam where? If you are targeting children, where do you advertise? You should advertise in cartoon channel maybe, right? So different, your channel will be different. So very important, you need to identify who is the target. Second, why are you advertising? What's the purpose? You want to build the brand name sahaja, or you want to sell the product, or you want to build brand image? What is the reason? Okay, then you design the communication. That means you come up with the wording, how the wording is going to come, where is it going to come, who is going to do that, right? Then you select the channel, which channel that you want to do, whether it's TV, is it YouTube, or whether it's going to come in Facebook, all right, or it's going to be Twitter, Instagram, you know, come up with what is the different channels that you want to use, okay? Then comes what? The budget. You look at what is the budget that you want to keep aside. We have looked at 4 different ways, is it? Either you can have a certain affordable budget, or you get a percentage of the, what do you call, percentage of the sales. You can use that as the budget, or you can just follow upper young competitors using it. Use the same price, same amount of your budget. You can do that, and then you decide on the media mix. Okay, which particular media you want to use, and measure the result. It's very important to measure. From measuring, you'll know whether is it worth. So normally, what companies do is they have different channel managers. Channel means okay, different kind of advertisement coming from where. Which one is bringing the best result? And then instead of spending our dollars, advertisement dollars on something that is wasting our money, we take and put it somewhere else. Okay? Now, radio is also a very good way of advertisement. Today, nowadays, you know, you drive to work, you're listening to Radio Era FM, you know, Mix FM, you know, BFM. A lot of advertisements come in. Okay? So that's also very important. If I'm going to target young people, I will advertise in Era. If I want to target older people, I'll advertise where? Let's say I want to target orang tua sikit. I will advertise where? Nuni. If I want to target older people, Malay-speaking older people, which radio station I will advertise?
Newspaper maybe.
Newspaper? Radio station? Noni?
Tak tahulah. Jarang.
You dengar apa radio selalu?
Hot FM.
Hot FM, right? Hot FM, young people like you listen, kan, isn't it?
Betul.
Makcik-makcik cuma they want Hot FM, right? If you want to target makcik-makcik itu, then what do you have to do?
RTM kot.
Yeah, maybe RTM lah, you know. Okay, all channels yang lagu-lagu lama lah. Khairul, which channel do you listen to radio?
Sina FM.
Sina is good, yeah. Sina is across the board, you know. So advertise in Sina FM. So identify the target, and then all your communication can change, budget can change. Budget is not the same, it won't change, but which channel you want to advertise in, and then finally managing the marketing communication. Okay, so this is the 8 steps. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 steps in how you manage the communication process. Is it clear, guys? All right, so, okay, if you've missed out, you can go back and listen to the video. I'll put this video up on YouTube, you know, you can watch it later on, right? Okay, next, third question. We have 2 more questions, halfway through, right? Now, product levels in the customer value hierarchy. What exactly is the question? How is the question? Let me look at it. The question is this. Okay, product levels in the customer value hierarchy. Now, this is exam focus area. I don't know which question that anybody sitting they will ask. I do not know. Maybe they might just take a certain part of it only. So it's good that you know you'll go through it live, right? Okay, so let's go to the customer value hierarchy. Now we're going to talk about products here. Now, in planning the market offering, when you talk about market offering, mean planning the product. Okay, let's say a company is planning the product. Okay, the marketer need to address 5 product level. Okay, the 5 product level will add value, more customer value, and the 5 constitute a customer value hierarchy. Value hierarchy means higher level, higher level, higher level, higher level. So it's a hierarchy. You know, hierarchy means like, you know, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. Okay? So there are 5 product levels. Okay. Now, there are 5 basic product levels. So this is in your page 326 of your textbook. Okay. I will briefly cover the whole thing, but I want you to go back and read it after today. Go back and read it, you know, so at least you remember back what I said. Right. Now, let's look at each of the 5. Let's say, for example, we talk about hotel. Okay, let's say a hotel. Hotel. Is a hotel a service or a product? The
Service.
hotel a service or product?
Service, hotel service.
Hotel is a service. It's not a product, right? Isn't it? A product is something that you can touch and feel, right? A service, like a hotel stay, you cannot touch and see. There is some product part is there also, is it? Macam makanan, is the food is there. You can see that is there. But there is some element of service also there. So not all everything is fully product or fully service. Jadi, macam saya beli satu barang macam ni, this is full product. But there are sometimes some service attached to it also, right? For example, you go to a restaurant and eat, 50% is product, 50% is service. We go back to the same restaurant because service is very good. Or we go to the restaurant because the food is very good, okay? So basically, you know, there's a certain, what you call, continuum, you know, in a product and service. Okay, so hotel, majority of the product is a service product. Okay, now what is the benefit of staying in a hotel? What is the core benefit? Why you want to go and stay in a hotel? What is the actual benefit?
Facilities.
Okay, facilities, good. Then some more. When you go stay in a hotel, how do you feel?
Relax.
You feel relaxed. Why relaxed?
No disturbance.
No disturbance, no need to clean the house, isn't it? My wife liked to go and stay in a hotel because he say, oh, ada room service. I have to payah, cuci the thing. I never don't need to worry, you know, I'm free, you know. So she likes that. Okay? That's the thing that you want to go. Okay. So the core benefit is a service, you know, people are buying. You want to guys buying rest and sleep. You go stay hotel for what? You want to rest and you have to sleep, you know. That's what you want. That's a core benefit. All right. Then from the core benefit, you add the basic product. What is the basic product? When you go in a hotel, your room, what do you see? What do you see?
Bed.
Yes, you see the actual product. There is the bed, the bathroom, the towel, the desk, the dresser, closet, all that you see, that's called the basic product. I mean, it's a add-on. From the core, you add on the basic product. That means is value. Daripada sini, you add on the value. Okay. Next is the expected product. What do you mean by expected product? Now, when you go and stay in a Hilton, how do you expect the service?
Good service.
Huh?
Very good service.
You expect very good service, right? Isn't it? Of course, you're going to a 5-star hotel, you're staying in Hilton, you expect a service, right? So a customer expects a certain type of product. I'm going to stay in what do you call a 5-star hotel. I'm paying 400 ringgit a night. So I expect a certain amount of service. So that's expected product. So a marketer prepares an expected product, set of attribute, condition that normally people expect. So when you come in, they expect, okay, you have what? If you go into a 5-star hotel, what do you expect? Noni, what do you expect? Hayati, what do you expect when you go into a 5-star hotel?
Good service.
You enter into the room, you see, wow, very nice. The bed must be, you know,
Yes.
very soft. The bed must be very soft, right? Isn't it? Soft bed, bathroom must be beautiful, clean,
And we'll
nice,
check the
so and you open the window, you see what beautiful sight, you know. Okay, that's an expected product. So what a marketer need to do is prepare an expected product. Okay, so fresh towels, lamps are working, everything is all, you know, kind of thing. So if it doesn't meet the expectation, customers feel disappointed, right? Okay, then you have something called the augmented. Augmented means extra daripada what they expect. It's called augmented product. Okay, augmented product exceeds the customer expectation. That means you go inside, suddenly you have a fruit basket inside. How you feel? Inside your room, you have a fruit basket.
Happy.
Huh?
Extra happy.
oh, you feel so nice. Oh, there's a fruit basket, so exciting, right? Isn't it? Is it true or not, right? Oh, you go inside there, they upgrade your room to a honeymoon suite, maybe like, so you're so excited, so you exceed the thing, okay? Now, so this is what is there in many countries like developed countries. Brand position and competition takes place at this level. That means when you want to fight with other hotels, you enter into a Hilton or you enter into a JW Marriott, they're trying to fight each other at the augmented level, What better I can give? How can I wow the customer? They are fighting at that. The competition is at that level. Okay, but in lower emerging market like India and Brazil, of course, India now has gone much way ahead of the line. Some emerging market, competition is at the expected product level, maybe. Okay, so if you go to Vietnam, and you go into Hilton, right? So you cannot get very high level thing, but maybe expected is there, so that level, okay? So that is where the competition is. And then you have what you call the potential product. What do you think is a potential product? Different levels, each one adds value and add value. What's a potential product? What do you mean by potential product? Potential means the future, okay? Something one step higher, in the future, okay? So this is the future potential product. Potential product at the fifth level is the potential product, which means all the possible augmentations, transformations, and product offering undergo the future. It's where companies search for new way to satisfy customer and distinguish their offering. Okay. Now this is a potential product. It means, for example, you go the next day that you have, maybe you get 50% discount, or you get free, buffet dinner, So this is called a potential product. So you want the customer to come back again, right? So these are the different what you call levels of product levels. Okay, so you can give an example when you are explaining this thing, and then you can what you call it. So they might not ask you everything. They might just ask you what are the differences between potential product and augmented product, or expected product, right? So something like that they might ask you. I'm not sure what's the kind of question that will come in line. But general focus area is this. So you study about the 5 product levels and use one example to explain, so it's much more clearer. Is that clear with you guys? You understand the 5 product levels?
And
All right. Okay. So
yes,
it's a very
sir.
clear, simple example. To you. All right. Now the last part is the 4th question. There are only 4 questions. For those who come late, Carol. Okay. So just to what do you call recap again. This is what they given to us as an exam focus area. First question is product life cycle. Okay, I already covered that. I'll do the recording and I'll give it to you so you can listen to it. Right, Rod? Second is steps in developing effective communication. Product levels in customer value hierarchy. Okay, customer value hierarchy means the value that the customer receives, the hierarchy. All right. And now the 4th one is going into modes of entry into a foreign market. So let's say, for example, if a company wants to extend its business across the border, okay, they want to extend to Indonesia, they want to go regional, they want to go to Singapore. Now, what is a method that the company uses? What are the steps or stages that they go through? Okay, now there are a few stages. Okay, enter into a foreign market. Now, once a company decides to enter a particular country, it must determine the best mode of entry. Okay, so the different choices these are the choices. Indirect exporting. Okay, indirect exporting is one. Let me give you the pointer. Indirect exporting is one. Direct exporting, licensing, joint venture, and direct investment. So we will cover one of each of these. This is there in your page 603 of your textbook. Okay, for Cairo, your textbook is inside your Google, in your PLS, and it's also inside your Google Classroom. So you can go and use Google Classroom. Okay. Now later on, the link for this this video that I will put it into the Google Classroom. Okay. This slide yang ada saya dengan saya, sekali dengan the video of this recording, I will put it into the Google Classroom. So go back to the Google Classroom, you can see the thing there by today night or tomorrow, it'll be there. All right. Okay, now 5 modes of entry into foreign market. The first is indirect exporting. Okay. Now, indirect exporting is very simple. What you do is indirect exporting is company start with the export, specifically indirect exporting. When you first want to enter into the foreign country, the first method that normally companies do is indirectly export. Okay. Now, a friend of mine was dealing with a type of food stuff, actually not also one of students. She was dealing with what you call some kind of biscuits, special biscuits factories in Charlam. So what she did was, she wanted to enter a foreign market. Now, when you want to go into Indonesian market or you want to go to Vietnam market, we have nobody there, right? What is the best way to enter inside? What's the best way? If you want to export your product to another country, but you don't know anybody there, what is the best way to do it?
Joint venture.
Okay, now joint venture is a later stage. Easiest way is look for somebody who's already have connection there. Okay, so let's say I am dealing with Indonesia, I got some connection in Indonesia, I'm doing business there. So you come to see me and say, Mr. Franklin, this product, my product, I want to introduce you to the Indonesian market. How can I? So I say, okay, no problem. I got export license, I'm exporting some product there to there. So what I'll do is I will export to over there. So you give me this product to me, I will take this and export to whoever I want to send it to. Okay? So as far as you're concerned, you know me, you do not know who's the person there in Indonesia. Okay? Now this is called indirect exporting. So I will pay you for the shipment, okay, and I will take this and I will send it over to some other partner or kawan saya or some other business associate that I have in Indonesia to market the particular product. This is called indirect exporting. Okay, what is the benefit of this? Kalau saya buat dia, what is the benefit of indirect exporting? What do you think is the benefit? Khairul? If I indirectly export,
can make more money.
you can make more money. Okay, you can make money, but not a lot of money lah. Okay, but what's the basic advantage? Anybody? How do you think? This is common sense lah. I'm exporting a product, but I'm not directly exporting. I'm going through indirect somebody else. What's the benefit of this?
Less risk.
Less what is that?
Less risk.
Less risk. Very good. Yeah. Is the least riskiest. All right. Now, if you look at this side, can you see this thing? Okay. This is commitment, risk, control, and profit and potential. Now, as this one goes up, all these things increases. This is the least commitment, least risk, least control. You cannot control what's happening. Kan? Whether this month you buy 100 unit, next month you buy 10. You cannot control. Right? You can't control that. And then the profit also is very low because you have to give certain percentage to this guy also, right? Isn't it? So these are the least of all these things, right? Okay, so indirect, two advantages: less investment. Okay, you don't need to take out any money. Okay, you don't need to have export department, overseas sales force, all these international contacts to fire. Less risk, okay, because you don't have to know what's happening there, okay? Right? So this is the advantages slide. Right? Now, the second is direct exporting. Direct means now you no need somebody orang tengah. You are directly exporting to the country, right? So when we first started our business in Indonesia, what we did, we looked for somebody who has contacts. Okay, that's what we do. Normally, companies start with the indirect one. Right? Then after some time, we find that we are not making so much money, and we have no control over what sales is it. So what we did, we started dealing with the partner over there in Indonesia. Okay, so directly he said, okay, why don't we direct deal with them? So companies eventually decide to handle their own export. The investment risks are somewhat greater because now you have to sign contract with them. The risk is higher because why? What do? You export to them, they don't pay you only after 90 days. And after 90 days, they don't pay, you cannot go there and sue them also. They are in some other country. So it's a bit risky for you in that sense. But indirectly, the will pay you. Malaysian guy, he has to pay you. So more risky, but return is better. That means it's what they call you have make more profit. Okay. Now, direct exporting happens in several ways. Okay. You have a domestic based export division. That means here in Malaysia, you open up a export department. Okay, or you have an overseas sales branch. That means what you do, you go to overseas, you open up one small branch, you know, satu dua orang, and there's a macam branch. Okay, travel export sales. That means what you do, you have to send somebody from here, go there for 1 week, you know, what sales, macam tu, then come back again in Malaysia. Is it? Then foreign-based distributor or agent. So these are the different ways in which you can do direct exporting, right? So these are the different ways, right? So next is licensing. Now, licensing is becoming more popular now with the last, I think, 20, 30 years. Companies have gone into the licensing mode, which is more profitable, right? Licensing has got advantage and disadvantage. Okay, let's look at it. Licensing is what? Is simple way to engage international marketing. Licensor issues a license to a foreign company to use a manufacturing process, trademark, patent, trade secret, or other value for royalty. Now, when you go to Indonesia, you find Old Town, right? I'm sure some of you have been to Indonesia. There's Old Town there, right? Isn't it? So one of my friends, he owns a brand called Bangi Kopitiam. I don't know whether you heard of that, Bangi Kopitiam. Do you have it in Seremban, Bangi Kopitiam? I'm sure some of you know, right? Those who you,
No, I don't think so, sir.
you don't have. I think
Don't
you
have.
have. I think the headquarters is in Kajang. I think. Bangi, Kajang. I'm not sure. Okay. So what he does is he went to Indonesia and he signed some licenses. So that means there are some people there. They open up their shop there, you know, and they follow the license. So this is advantage is basically you gain entry at little risk. That means you need to open a branch there, you know, right? But you have what you call a little bit risk is there. Licensing gain production expertise or as well-known product brand. They mean the person who sign up with him, they have a what you call a brand that is well-known. You know, bukan you open one kedai kopi sendiri and people don't know you. So you open up let's say at Old Town, or people know what's an Old Town. If I open up a Starbucks, you know, people know what is a Starbucks. They know what to expect. So licensing has its advantage because it's got a brand name. Okay, but disadvantages pun ada juga. What is the disadvantage? Okay, one is the licensor. They mean licensor is the person who owns the brand. It's called licensor. Licensee is orang yang menyewa brand itu ataupun menggunakan the brand lah. It's called a licensee. You know, the licensor or the owner of the brand less control over the license over his own production and sales facility. Because why? He doesn't know what is happening over there. Sometimes this fellow, instead of selling kopi, tengah-tengah dia jual barang lain. They sell some other your own product. They sell also. So we have less control over the licensee. That's a disadvantage. Now, if the licensee is successful, the firm has given up profits because what happened? Your profit is gone to them. If successful means certain all your thing goes up there. They will give you what you call certain percentage goes back again to the licensor. You said 10 ringgit. 8 ringgit will go back to the licensor back in Malaysia. So he gets that. That's called a royalty. And if the contract ends, it might have created a competitor. Now, a lot of times what happens, especially in F&B, you know, F&B, what happened if let's say you end the contract, what happened? They open up new one. You remember the time that Tea Life, remember Tea Life? At one time there was Tea Life, right, isn't it? So Tea Life was very popular in Malaysia. Everywhere they expanded very fast. So what happened was the actual person who owned the brand or licensor of Tea Life is from Taiwan. So this guy found something not right, and then he canceled the contract of the person here. They in Malaysia were running it like a guy called Brian. So he canceled the contract. When he canceled the contract, what happened? The guy that is owning the what do you call the franchise there, he has all the shops here already. What is he going to do with the shop? You cannot close down the shop. Immediately what he did, you know, sorry, I'm mistake. It's not Tea Life. Chat Time. Do you remember Chat Time?
Yes.
Chat Time, right, isn't it? Now, the guy who owned Chat Time, you know, built a business brand in Malaysia, very successful. All over the country, the Chat Time was there, famous. Then the owner of Chat Time, which is the licensor, saw that they were very successful and canceled the contract with them prematurely. Supposed to be end after 5 years. Before that, they can cancel the contract. So the owner, the licensee in Malaysia, a guy called Brian, got very upset. So what he said, okay, you cancel my contract, right? I opened my own brand. And that is how Tea Life came about. Is it? And now tea life is also very popular today, right? So what Chatime has done is it has actually created a competitor. Is it? So that is a challenge or problem or disadvantage they can have because they already taught them how to make the coffee, everything already like the method of doing it, bubble tea. So they just got sajila. They just follow the same method. Is it? Now, what companies do like Coca-Cola and all that, what they do is they keep the formula. Okay, Coca-Cola licensed the thing to a local company who manufacture the thing and market it. Okay? But what they do, the formula they pegang. They don't give the formula to them. Okay? They hold the formula. And that is what, even if they want to do their own, cannot. Same thing goes to KFC. KFC, the owner of KFC in Malaysia, are they the licensee? If they want to open up a company sendiri, difficult because why? The famous is the formula. The formula they don't have. Okay? So this is the way that some companies, they hold on to it, right? And then one step more than this is called what do you call a franchising. A franchising is a more complete form of licensing. For example, McDonald's, KFC, Ramada hotels, hotels are all franchised, right? Avis, all these are what do you call franchise in different countries, right? Next, we are going to joint venture. Somebody mentioned joint venture, right? Now, joint venture is a partnership. Okay. Now, when you joint venture, what do? You share with another company in local. For example, now normally what happens is when you want to go to another company and you want to sell your product, market your product, you do not know the culture of the people. You do not know how the people's customer buying behavior is. We are not sure. So what companies do is, the beginning stage, they joint venture with a local company and work with them. And the local company already got expertise in that particular line. So they are able to help you to go into the market. All right. So normally they go into a joint venture. Now in a joint venture system, okay, what is the risk in joint venture? What is the risk that you have?
Big risk.
Pardon?
Big risk.
A big waste, is it? I can't hear you, Izzati.
Yes. Big risk.
Big waste, is it?
Big risk is a big
A big risk, yeah. Very
Yeah.
big risk, right? Now, risk could be in the sense of money they spend, technology. Sometimes you have to share technology in our line, isn't it? For example, you're an IT company, right? Isn't it? Sometimes your own IP, you have to share with a partner. If you want to go into Indonesian market, maybe, you might have to get a local partner there who is very aware of the market situation. So, but when you join venture with him, you might have to share with him some of your trade secrets. When that happens, sometimes they can do their own. They can pitch out everybody you, and then they got their own what they call this thing they can do. So this is what happens like in joint ventures. Okay, like example, first when Proton joint venture with Mitsubishi. All right, with joint venture, Proton learned how to make their own engines. So now then they split off and then they started doing their own own technology. They started coming up with their own ideas. So joint ventures, can be risky, but also if you get the right partner, you can be successful. If you have the wrong partner, you are in doom. Okay, so this is the challenge that you have, right? And then the final one is direct investment. Okay, now direct investment is the ultimate form. Okay, where the ownership foreign involvement is where the company can buy a part of full interest in a local company and build its own manufacturing service facility. Right, direct what they call investment. Now, sometimes what companies do is like Maybank. Okay, when you wanted to RHB, are you in Indonesia? Are you in Indonesia, RHB?
Yes.
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 You have okay. Now, is it a direct investment or is it how is your strategy there over there? You have your own bank?
Yes, RHP.
RHP there. Okay. Now, when normally banks when they enter into another country, it'll be difficult for them to get licenses. So this is what the challenge is, because the government of the country will not give you a license. Say, oh, you are coming from another country and coming in open up bank. I mean, all my people's money I'm going to put inside there. So the wealth of a country will be holding with you. So that is not good. So they discourage this kind of thing. So normally what they do is they go into a joint venture first. When first Maybank went into the what do you call Indonesia, they joint venture with a local bank. Okay, they buy share in the local bank and they joint venture with them together. And then after some time, they become the full majority holder, and completely it becomes the whole entire entity. The whole entity becomes them. So that's called direct investment. It means completely 100% dimiliki oleh Maybank. So that's how they are. So direct investment. So same thing goes with what you call factories. For example, On Semiconductor. On is a US company or Taiwan company?
US, sir.
US
US.
company. Okay. Now that is a direct investment. It's not a joint venture. I don't know. Maybe in the initial stages it was a joint venture, but probably now it's a direct investment, right? FDI, where the company has spent maybe millions of dollars setting up the plant, hiring the workers. So that's where basically that's a direct investment. Now, why do the companies have direct investment? What is the purpose? What is the advantage of a direct investment? When a company comes, when a foreign company like On Semiconductor from US, buka factory dekat Seremban, how many workers you have? 2,000 workers?
Almost.
Almost 2,000 workers, and big plant they have, they spend millions on the materials, they're doing wafer, kan? Chips
Yes,
and wafers, right?
Wafers and chips.
Wafers and chips, and the machines are millions, very expensive, and the technology is very high tech, Even China is trying to develop, cannot develop, So that's the challenge that you have, because chips now is the hottest thing, There's a shortage of chips in the world now, because of the pandemic, shortage of chips. So a lot of chip companies are working overtime now. Is your company working overtime now?
No, sir, but we now normal production already.
Normal production lah.
Yeah.
But some other companies I find out they are double their the demand, the huge demand there. And everything today has got chips. Hyundai, I was listening to the radio the other day. It said Hyundai Motor has stopped production. Hyundai car production. Why? Because tak cukup chips. Because nowadays all cars got chips inside, right? Not enough chips. They cannot manufacture cars. So that's the shortage that they're having, right? Okay. So when you open up a direct investment, okay, the advantages is what? First of all, you have cost economy. Now this might be a question. They might ask you like that. What are the advantages of that? They won't ask you what are the different. Maybe they might ask you what are the advantages of direct investment as opposed to licensing. Maybe they might tell you that. Then you got to explain licensing. Example, what are the benefits? So advantages of direct investment is the firm secure cost economy. Now, what is cost economy? Now, this is very important word you all need to understand. I think I've taught you all this. Economy of scale. Do you remember the word economy of scale?
Yes.
Economies of scale.
Minimize the model and maximize the profit.
Minimize the
Cost, maximize the profit.
Maximize the profit.
Yes, minimize the cost.
Okay, now economies of scale means what? When you scale, when the word scale, when you scale up, your unit cost goes down. For example, let's say, for example, you are making 100 cars, let's say, or let's say you're making 100,000. The factory in, let's say, for example, your car factory, they can manufacture. What is your capacity at On, Sylvie? What is your capacity for chips?
For chips, not really very sure, sir.
What are you manufacturing there now?
We are doing the wafer and doing the chips on the wafer.
Okay, wafer lah. Okay, well, you're manufacturing. How many wafers you?
Our capacity for weekly basis is 34K.
34,000. Okay, so this
34,000 wafers, not
34,000 wafers lah. Okay, so that's your weekly capacity of 34,000 wafers lah. Right. Now let's say, for example, you are only doing 15,000 wafers lah. Now, so is it effective what you all are doing?
No.
No. Why? Because for doing the 15,000, the cost is going to be the same. Am I right or not?
Yeah, exactly.
Because you have fixed costs. Fixed costs like the electricity can bayar, saver can bayar, worker can bayar juga, right? Isn't it? So when you look at it, the per unit cost of one wafer will be higher But if you can do 30,000, then the unit cost akan turun, right? For one chip. So we can make more profit. Okay, so this is called economies of scale. So they mean when you have a foreign direct investment and the market is huge, they secure cost economy, through cheaper labor and raw material, government incentives and freight savings. So that's the reason why companies want to invest directly, because Malaysia will give them tax deduction, labor is cheaper, all these gives them a cost economy. All right, one. Second, the firm strengthens the image in the host country because it creates job. Okay, because you're creating job, it got an image in that particular country, and the firm deepens the relationship with government, local supplier, distributor, enabling it to adapt to product at a local environment. And then supply chain. Now, why companies want to do direct investment? Because they want to be in the country where there's a supply chain cut. You don't have to, spend a lot of money to bring the product in. So that's also the reason why they're looking at it. Firms retail objective. Number 5, the firm assures itself of access to the market in case the host country insists locally produced goods have domestic content. That means what it might say is, if suddenly the country say you don't want imported barang, only local produce can only sell. See, like what happened in Indonesia recently, what they did, low product. That means if I am selling a handphone, 30% of the handphone content misi daripada Indonesia. Then only you can sell the product. Okay. So if I'm exporting my handphone from here to Indonesia, I cannot really stop. Because why? There's a certain rule that they put in it. So now what I do is, if I invest, if I have a factory over there, then I don't have to worry. So these are the benefits that they can have. Now, what is the disadvantages, you think, of direct investment? What do you think is the disadvantage of direct investment?
Tax exception.
Yeah, no?
Tax exception.
Tax exemption. That is advantage, what? Yeah, we have said that here, right? Host country will create job, relationship, full control, development. So tax exemption is good, it's an advantage for the company, and that's one of the reasons why it goes there. Okay? What do you think is the biggest disadvantage of foreign direct investment? If you invest all your money there, millions there, what's the advantage, disadvantage? Okay, a firm large investment to risk. Okay, now it can happen because suddenly your currency is devalued. Malaysian ringgit is devalued suddenly, then whatever money it's spent here, it might be spent 1 billion here, the value of the billion already. Worsening market is not good. Like during the pandemic, a lot of these foreign direct investment companies were affected. Host country requires substantial severance for employees. I mean, for example, if you want to let's say lay off an employee, then you have to pay a lot of money, then headache. A lot of companies don't like going Indonesia because they got very strict laws on employees. You cannot any employee, you have to pay so much of money before you think that. They're very strict on that, especially for foreign companies. Okay, reducing or closing operation can be expensive. So if you want to close your operation, and not like here you there, you in foreign countries, the challenge will be much more harder. Okay. All right. So, okay, now this is the end of the revision. We have covered all the 4 topics. Okay, just to review. These are the 4 areas. First is the product life cycle. All right. So in the product life cycle, identify the stages, the 4 stages, and define what they are. Give an example if you can. Right. Second, develop marketing strategies from stage. Remember, we talked about each stage of the product life cycle. The marketing strategy is different. At introduction different, at growth different, maturity is different. Okay, and then what are the different strategies? Okay, so they might not give everything. They might just ask you, what is the marketing strategy? Define the marketing strategy. At this stage or that stage. Then you got to just specifically talk about that, right? steps in developing effective communication. Okay, we looked at the steps. What are the different steps? Okay, so these are steps. First of all, identify the target market, determine why you want to advertise, then you design the message. You select the channel, what channel that you want to think. Then you establish the budget, how much money that you want to keep aside for advertisement or communication, right? Decide on the market media mix, okay, where you want to advertise, measure it, and then finally you manage it. So there are 8 steps in developing effective communications, right? So we looked at that. Okay, next we looked at the product levels. We looked at the 5 different product levels. The 5 levels are, okay, core benefit, the basic benefit, expected, augmented, and potential. We look at the example of a hotel. The core benefit, you want to have a good rest. Basic is you should have bathroom towels, all these things. Expected, it should be clean and nice, the nice, what do you call, environment. That is what is expected. Augmented is extra above, something special. Wow, can give you a free buffet dinner, upgrade, a free upgrade. Those are called augmented product. And then the last is potential. What additional extra thing that we can give in the future? So there are 5 different levels of the product. Okay, we looked at that. And then entry. Finally, we looked at the entry. We looked at different ways of entry. Indirect exporting is the fastest, the easiest way. Of course, the advantage and the disadvantage. And then we looked at direct exporting. Okay, and direct exporting, you directly deal with the one. Then licensing, we look at licensing. What is licensing? Why is it a better way of doing the, what do you call, entering the foreign country? And then we looked at joint venture, and finally we looked at direct investment. Okay, which is the most expensive way and the what do you call, the ultimate form of what do you call it? Okay. Now remember, okay, use your own words to explain. All right. Okay, use your own words to explain. Anyway, you have to use your own words, like, because it's exam, right? You cannot think of book, right? Use your words to explain, right? And make it simple, and give examples to emphasize the point. Okay, so I would like that if I'm the guy who's marking a paper, I would like to see you give examples and applications. I think that's very important. All right. All right. So I'll end here. Anything you all want to ask me? Anything you want to share before your exam? Are you all there?
Yes.
Yes.
You're okay? Everything okay?
Okay.
Okay.
So don't be too tension. It'll be all right. I'll try my best to give you all good marks, yeah. Okay, so any question? Nothing. It's already late already, 10:45 already. Time for us to go back to sleep. Okay. All right, guys, thank you so much for your time. If anything, you can just message me, anything that you want to know, you can always message me. Have all of you, Izati, have you submitted your assignment for marketing?
Yeah, I submitted already.
Submitted already, I think there was some problem with the Turnitin, right, isn't it?
There is 2 assignments under you, right? Marketing and entrepreneurship.
Yes, yours is 2 lah. I think others also right. Khairul, have you submitted yours? Oh, Khairul.
Yes, sir.
That's yours?
Yes.
Okay, all right, good. Because I just saw some of them, I didn't go through everything. Okay, all the best, guys. Don't worry, you'll do well. This is not the first time you are doing the test, right? So all the best. Okay, and you take care. I will put up this recording there for you, and you can go through it later on. I put it in inside the thing, and I will message you all. All right. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
God, the
Bye.
kids are so
Good
late.
night.
Right. All the best. Good night.
Right,
Good night,
sir.
sir.
Right.
You guys should take a picture, lah. Okay, guys. Bye.